How many of you have said this before? Oh, I'm so sick of these gratitude lists. Everybody's making me do gratitude lists. Fuck gratitude. Yeah, well, guess what? You just got checked. You just got body checked by the universe. Welcome to the Ignited Recovery Podcast, a new way forward for anyone looking for answers but feeling left out. If you've been searching for empowerment, triumph, and purpose, you've found them right here. You won't hear the same solutions, and you're not going to have any excuses to fall back on, because Ignited Recovery allows heroes to rise and become their best selves. I'm Dr. Adi Jaffe, and I can't wait to be your guide on this journey. Are you ready to become an ignited hero? Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Ignited Recovery Secrets Podcast. I'm Adi Jaffe. And, in the midst of this entire COVID-19 corona madness, I'm hopefully going to bring you a 3-minute shift on perspective that I've been sharing with some of my clients and some of the people that I work with. Recently, I'm doing myself. You're going to get my piece of it here today to shift our perspective, not only about what's going on right now, but whenever this madness is over, whenever we get to rest, whenever we get to do all the things that we haven't been able to do for, by the time this comes out, weeks, to make damn sure that we don't just go back to things as usual. So if you're not driving, and odds are, given what's going on in the world right now, that you're not driving, I'm going to ask you to grab a piece of paper. So I'll give you a second. Grab something to write with. I don't have all day. Go ahead. All right. Hopefully you got a pen with that piece of paper, even though I didn't tell you to. And here's what I want. It's been tough. These last few weeks have completely shifted our usual way of life. We're driving less, we're out less. We obviously see a lot of people less. We go out less. We do a lot of things less than we've done before, and maybe you're doing more of other things. I don't know, hand washing, blah, 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 whatever that is for you. What I want you to do right now is write down a list of all the things you're missing in life. For some of you, that list might be short. For me, it's pretty long. I'm going to share mine with you here in a minute. But I want you to just write a list of all the things that you're missing. All day you sit around and we all say, oh my God, we can't fill in the blank. And God, I wish I could fill in the blank. And oh my God, I haven't fill in the blank and God knows how long. I want you to write all those things down, all the things you keep complaining about that you don't get to do anymore. I'm going to give you my list. Here are the things that I miss a lot right now. I miss going out to eat. I miss going out with the kids. I miss going out with Sophie to eat. I miss hanging out with friends, or even just sometimes for lunch, like to read a book. I would go out to eat, sit at a coffee shop or something. I miss that like crazy. How many people are with me? I miss hanging out with my guy friends. Shout out to Darren and Chris and Seth and Kent and Devin. I miss my guy friends. John, haven't gone to hang out with those guys. And man, it's, the thing is, it's been like a month and a half because I didn't know that we weren't going to get to hang out for weeks after the last time. So I didn't make a special deal like all of us. This caught us by surprise. So I miss hanging out with those guys. I miss date nights with Sophie. Sophie was just talking about that this morning with me. It's been a few, like 3 to 4 weeks now. It's kind of insane. We're pretty good about that normally. I miss playing at the park with the kids. So I used to take them to basketball. That's off. But even sometimes we would just go to the park and shoot a ball or just run around. Haven't done that in weeks. Miss that. I miss playing football with the guys. Every Sunday we would have a game of flag football, not tackle because my body can barely put up with flag football at this point. I'm in pain for 2 days after, but we were doing that pretty regularly and obviously haven't done it in almost a month. So miss that. I miss brainstorming meetings with my business-oriented friends, boys, girls, men, women, whatever. Sometimes we would just get together and just talk, help each other out through ideas, help each other through struggles. Not doing that right now. Shabbat at the house. I'm Jewish. Sophie converted. We would have a lot of friends for Shabbat luck, where people would bring some stuff. We'd hang out for hours, like 5:30 to 10. People would just be hanging out, lighting candles, etc. I miss all those people coming over. I miss going to the movies. I know I said date nights, but I love going to the movies. Haven't done that in weeks. We actually had a really funny experience with it, where we went before everything got shut down, and they had lines, like they had rows separated in the theater of where you could sit and where you couldn't. And Sophie and I sat. This was when things were starting to shut down, but nothing was closed off yet. We were sitting in one row, and the usher told us we had to move, but the only open row had people in it. And so weirdly, he was asking us to move closer to people. Anyway, I digress. I miss going to the movies a lot. I miss hugging people when I see them. How many of you are doing that weird, either like elbow shake thing, if you're very brave, or just the 6 foot away wave thing? I'm a hugger. I miss being able to say hey to somebody and just give them a hug. That's really annoying. I miss having friends over for a barbecue. Since we got this new house and we have a backyard, Sophie and I would have friends over to come hang out. That's done. I miss conferences. I've already had 3 events canceled. I love speaking. I love giving workshops, and I love attending conferences. I might be crazy for that, but I miss those. 3 already got canceled. And I don't know how many more will get canceled. I miss in-person meetings, business meetings, or any kind of catch-up meetings. I miss those a lot. I would have a lunch meeting with a potential customer, or a lunch meeting with somebody else in the field just to get to know them. Those are all gone. I miss dropping my kids off at school. And not just because my kids haven't been to frickin' school in 2.5 weeks and they're at the house all the time. That's not the only reason. I like the ride with them. And then I like seeing if all the other kids drop off. And a lot of times I'll park with them and walk in for a couple of minutes. Miss that like crazy. I also miss picking them up, because it's like that moment where we get to hear about how things have gone all day and what's been going on. Miss that. I miss my assistant Maddie coming over. We have meetings. We have these daily huddles that happen every day. But working just behind a laptop all day, every day by yourself is really lonely. Miss you, Maddie. Can't wait till you can come back here. I know it's insanity for all of us. So that's my list. Okay, so that's my list. That's the second step. Write your list. Maybe you can borrow some of mine. Maybe you have completely different ones. Maybe some of the things that I miss, you never want to experience in your life again. And that's okay. Write down a list of all those things that you're missing. I typed mine up to make the next piece easier. Keep this list until this entire crisis is over. Because if you don't do that, you can't do step 4. And step 4 is the day after everything is opened back up. The day after everything, you're allowed to go back out of the house. Restaurants are open again, theaters, whatever the stuff is that opens up right after this is over. I want you to look at this list. And one by one, I want you to express gratitude for every single one of the things on your list that comes back. How many of the things that I read are on your list? And how many of those, the last time you did them, you took them completely for granted? You went and grabbed coffee, not realizing it's going to be the last goddamn time you're going to grab coffee for a minute, and not being grateful about it, maybe even being a little pissed at the person in front of you that took an extra 30 seconds at the line. Every single time you get to do one of these things, I almost miss sitting in traffic. Almost. But I almost miss sitting in traffic because that meant life is kind of back to normal. I actually do really, really appreciate how clear the sky is and how amazingly clean the air is in LA right now with no traffic. But step by step, as you get to experience more of the things on the list, I want you to express gratitude. When I say express gratitude, let me say what I mean right now. I don't mean, hey, that's great, I got to do that again. No. I mean, pause for a second. If you're somewhere safe, close your eyes and go, deep breath. And I'm so grateful that I get to do this again. I'm so grateful that I get to go to date night with Sophie again. I'm so grateful I got to give my friends a hug. I'm so grateful I got to have a night out and ask my boy if he wants to go out and grab some dinner on Tuesday, right? All those things. Express gratitude for each one of those things as soon as you get to experience them. Now, step 5 is incredibly important. I want you to repeat step 4 every day after this crisis is over and never take those things for granted anymore. You know, how many of you have said this before? Oh, I'm so sick of these gratitude lists. Everybody's making me do gratitude lists. Fuck gratitude. Yeah, well, guess what? You just got checked. You just got body checked by the universe. All these little things you didn't think you had to be grateful for, you miss like crazy. You didn't appreciate them 50 seconds ago. You miss them like an insane person now. So guess what? It's our job. It's our duty to remember this lesson. You know, when I grew up, my mom was the daughter of a Holocaust survivor. My grandmother survived the Holocaust, got out of Poland very, very early in the process, lost 80% of her family. Both her parents and 2 of her older siblings, along with their entire family. And life was never the same for her because she knew that at the snap of a finger, every right you have could be taken away. You could have the most amazing meal on Friday, and Saturday your life could be a disaster. And once you know that, there are things that change. Now, for her, it was always fear-based. Finish all your food because tomorrow you might not be able to eat. It's very much about like, use whatever resources you can right now. I'm asking you for a different way of coming out of this. I'm asking you to have appreciation for all the things you do in life that you get to do. You know, you don't have to stand in line at freaking Starbucks. You get to stand in line at Starbucks. You don't have to drive your kids to school. You get to drive your kids to school. You don't have to take your wife to date night. You don't have to put attention into that. You get to do it, or your freaking marriage suffers, right? This is a moment for all of us to have an internal reckoning with how we've taken shit for granted our entire lives. So, don't do it anymore. Write down a list, print it out, keep it, and then when this shit ends, be grateful to whatever the hell it is you believe in that you get to have all those things back in your life. I'm grateful that I get to do this even while this disaster is happening. I thank you all for listening so much. You know what I would appreciate so much? I would love if you guys would send me your lists. When you hear this, write the list out, take a screenshot of it, tag me, put it on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. I would love to hear from you guys. And then I want to see what ends up happening when this thing ends and you get to actually experience the joy of having it all back. Love you all so much. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. Stay healthy, stay safe. Flatten the curve. See you on the other side. Thank you for tuning in to the Ignited Heroes Recovery Podcast. I really hope you found the information here useful and that we'll see you back here next week. And look, I want to make sure that this podcast is the most useful it can be for you, so please let me know by emailing info@ignited.com if there are any specific topics or questions you'd like to have addressed. As usual, if you like this episode, I would love for you to leave us a 5-star review and rating. Thanks, and see you next week.